What is up, my friends, and welcome to another edition of the XFL Week in Review. I'm your host, Mark Perry, editor of XFL News Hub. And on this week's show, what's the deal with June Jones? He appeared on CBS Sports Radio talking about PJ Walker, talking about the new ownership in the XFL. Also dropped a little thing about that he was coming back, but then he later said he didn't. He misspoke. We have that clip. You decide for yourself. We'll get into that a little bit later. Plus our Black Friday sale unboxing. That's right. Right next to me, I have the items that I got at the Black Friday sale for the XFL. We'll do a little unboxing right here, plus the latest news going on all about in the XFL world. Now, how do you get in touch with the show? You email podcast at XFL News Hub with your MP3s or videos, or call 888-430-7692 extension 3. We appreciate that. Also, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We'll read it on the show. This way it gets the word out. We like that. So leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We'll really appreciate that. All right, so before we get into the show with the news of June Jones, TSL, and some other stuff, first, let's get into a little unboxing, shall we? So I have a little box here that came. A lot of my pals in the XFL news world, or XFL world, posted that they got it, their package. I got it also at the same time as well. So, I mean, we were the nerds. We were the super nerds that actually did it like as soon as it was available, because we're XFL fans. That's what we do. All right, first up, I got this cool DC Defenders license plate thing. So I'll roll it in there with the car. I thought this was cool. A little DC Defenders license plate. I got this on sale at the Black Friday sale. I'm excited about that. I also, because I have a DC Defenders metal sticker that's kind of fallen apart, didn't really last very long. We got that at one of the events that we went to. So I got another one, your DC Defenders magnet to put on one of the cars there. So that's a good one to have too. Representing the DC Defenders. I'm all about that. And of course we got the fancy XFL hat that you saw Danny Garcia and The Rock repping. So let's open it right now. Let's see. So we got this hat. Oh, okay. Well, it's got a Velcro backing. Interesting on that one. A little Velcro backing. It's by 940. New Era hat. So you can check it out here. It's got the hat here. Here's the front. Now, I have on my head is the OG original. Take this off. That's right, I have no hair. This is the original. I got this one back in the day. This is DC Defenders hat when they first came out. This was Flex Fit. It doesn't have the backing like this one does, which I'm kind of like, I don't know about that. But I love the stitching on it. Actually, it's pretty cool. I love the stitching on the front and the logo. I mean, as compared to, here's the original one that came out, and now here's the new one that's got that cool stitching on there. So that's my fancy unboxing. Here is the original XFL hat that's been worn a little bit, a lot of it. See, he's got the 2020 on there. And then now you have the new XFL hat. Though I'm not sure I'm liking this thing in the back, but we'll see how that goes. But I really like the stitching on the front. That's really cool. So there you have it. There's your little fancy unboxing for the day. All right. So we got the hat. Okay, we got the die-cast magnet from Windcraft. Guess they're making some money. That's good. And then we got the car deal license plate XFL deal. DC Defenders, that's the team. That's America's team, my friends. That's America's team. So we have the unboxing. Now let's get into the news of the week, and plus your social media stuff and so much more. So without further ado, friends, let's just get into the week that was the XFL. Houston Roughnecks head coach June Jones was a guest on After Hours with Amy Lawrence. In there, they talked about PJ Walker's appearance in the NFL, plus him meeting PJ Walker for the first time and wanting to draft PJ Walker first overall when he joined the XFL. He also talked about the XFL having room to succeed in the spring football, talks about the Rock and ownership in the XFL as well as Vince McMahon and saying that basically the XFL will work. But he also dropped this nugget that he will in fact return to coach in the XFL in 2022, assumably with the Houston Roughnecks.
Are you going to still be involved as a head coach?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So you got it here first.
That's awesome. Some breaking news.
Coach Jones then goes to talk about his reaction to PJ Walker's success in the NFL.
Well, it was pretty awesome. I was texting him back and forth. You know, he's a great kid. I never forget when he was a true freshman at Temple. We played him. We ended up beating him, I think, 51-42 or something. I remember walking over to him after the game and introducing myself to him. I couldn't believe that he, was a true freshman and played the way he did. So as soon as the XFL happened, he was my number one quarterback. I told Randy Mueller, I said, Randy, don't mess around. I want that guy. And I said, we'll win it all because I've seen what he can do. He's a great kid. He just needs an opportunity. The XFL provided that opportunity for him, and he got a chance to start. Now he has live game film as a starter.
Coach then talks about how the XFL formula will work in 2022.
The XFL formula that Vince McMahon had would have lasted had COVID not happened. They did everything right. They did everything from the drafting to the development of the teams, the players. I mean, and now I'm kind of really excited because The Rock has bought the league, and we're going to kind of wait through this pandemic stuff and go again in 2022. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to work. There is a place. They know how to do it. They're not going to, reinvent the wheel. They're going to recopy what Vince did. And they got the TV contract, so it's going to happen.
So there you have it. Coach June Jones will return to the XFL in 2022. PJ Walker is looking... He was the number one guy he wanted. Assume that Walker is now going to be in the NFL, and maybe Connor Cook would be his guy because he did draft him in the second draft pick from the Houston Roughnecks. So we assume that he was also high on Cook as well. And he also mentions a little bit at the end that there is a TV deal. Now, whether he's saying in the past they had a TV deal and it worked, or that there is actually a new one, we're just going to have to find out. That's pure speculation. But it looks, in fact, that things are starting to ramp up. And the good news is that June Jones and Houston Roughneck fans are going to be back together again in 2022. Our own Josh Davis spoke with the Spring League CEO Brian Woods and been able to confirm that the TSL Championship game will take place December 15th at 10 p.m. Eastern on FS1 from Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Florida. Now, based on the records following Week 3, remember Week 4 was not played, the Generals will play the Aviators. The championship game has been in question since the league decided to cancel Week 4 due to all the pandemic issues that they were having amongst players and etc. that's going on across the whole country. Originally scheduled for December 2nd, the league decided that the best course of action was to take a little extra time off to ensure that the health and safety of their players and coaches involved before they prepared the game. The game was supposed to be in the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, but since the league experienced issues with the virus, they chose a different location for the championship game, heading down to Florida. The Generals were class of the league during the fall season, with quarterback Brian Scott leading them to a 3-0 record. The Aviators held the tiebreaker over the Alphas, both sitting at 2-1, but McLeod, Bethel Thompson, and company were able to build a 12-point differential in their 3 games, earning them the second seed. This matchup is set to be the final game of the regular season, but it will now be the last of the year for the league. So tune into FS1 for the game coverage. It should be fun. It's nice to get on something other than NFL stuff. We all like the Spring League. We're hoping all of us at XFL News Hub want the Spring League to succeed, so check out the game on FS1. We'll have full coverage of the little championship game after it takes place.
Here's what you missed last week on the XFL Markcast. Fan-controlled football. Miro, you're a coward.
I'm like rant ready. We are trying to reach out to you to would you like to come on and talk about fan controlled football? No response, but he's arguing with people like, why are you deleting tweets that are talking about me?
Come on, coward.
He's
Come on,
a coward.
Yes.
So, of course, we recorded, I think, Wednesday last week. And then, lo and behold, we missed news again. Big XFL Black Friday sale coming out. Thanks, Danny. Be great if she could let us know next time. We could just delay the
Give us a heads up. Okay?
Yeah. So she did this whole thing, tweeted like, hey, midnight on Thanksgiving, everything's going to go live. So, of course, everybody was going crazy. Of course, your boy Reed was there at 9 o'clock Pacific, 12 Eastern on Black Friday. And there was a new hat, which I ordered.
Obviously.
Dumbest question in the world. And
hi, Mark.
And then there was a new shirt, and then they discounted a bunch of stuff.
We kind of buried the lead here. We kind of he's rocking, for those people that are listening to the audio version of this podcast, he is rocking the replica, not the authentic, but the replica PJ Walker Carolina Panthers jersey. The reason I say it's the replica is because I can tell that the numbers are ironed on and not stitched.
Well, I don't think they make authentic game jerseys for backup QBs that play one game. Yeah, I don't think that exists
Really?
yet.
Are you going to eat this Dwanta clause?
Oh my God, this is terrible. Okay. Dwayne's got The Rock's got this new holiday ice cream. It's Terramana flavored ice cream.
Shocking.
Yeah, it's shocking.
Here comes Dwana Claus. Here comes Dwana Claus. Right down Dwana Claus Lane.
Stop this.
This is terrible.
Open up the freezer to deliver you the world's best ice cream. Coming at you again.
Of course, you could find XFL Markcast on XFL News Hub and wherever you get podcasts, including YouTube.
What's up, XFL Army? If you're a fan of the XFL News Hub and you have a telephone, which I know all of you do because you're sitting there playing on your phones all the time, then why not download the XFL News Hub app? That's right, it's on iTunes. It's on Android. We have an Android version and an iPhone version of the XFL News Hub app. So what do you get? You get the latest news from XFL News Hub, the premier source of XFL news in the universe. Plus, you get push notifications when we have breaking news. You will be the first to know. You can leave a comment on some of the news right from your phone. Plus, you get this podcast on your phone as well. Remember, you can leave us reviews on the Google Play Store or iTunes. It links to our other social media accounts, and so much more. Be in the know. I know you're on your phones. People are on their phones all the time. They never get off their phones. So why not just download the XFL News Hub app on your Android or iPhone today? All you need to do is go to the Google Play Store or iTunes and just type in XFL News Hub. That's XFL News Hub. Download our app on your phone today. All right, we are back. First off, before we get into some of your social media stuff, first we want to congratulate Taylor Russolino. He got signed by the Denver Broncos to their practice squad. So congratulations to him. That was the only real player movement this week. Some guys appeared that made the we'll have an article out, I should say, about some of the guys that moved up and moved down this week. But there was a couple of XFL guys, because of everything going on in the NFL world, that got moved up to the roster this week. But we record this on Monday. We still have a game tonight and tomorrow. So we'll get to that. Just check out XFL News Hub for that. So congrats to Taylor on that as well. I wanted to quickly talk about this whole June Jones thing. So we put this out. We heard the clip. I went to Josh. I said, hey, put this article out. It came out. And then quickly, June Jones came out and said, hey, I misspoke. And now you heard the clip. You can decide for yourself if he misspoke or not. He clarified his statement. He said, my statement means if the XFL happens and I'm offered a job, I would love to be back. That's what he said. However, some trolls out there, and we're XFL News Hub, and when you're on the top, you're going to have haters. And the bigger you get, the more haters you get. But if you're not doing anything at all, you'll never get any haters. So we don't have a problem with that. But people were taking issue saying that we reported on a rumor. Now, you heard from the clip yourself. How is that reporting on a rumor? Because sometimes people will say, oh, XFL News Hub is kind of clickbaity and, they report on rumors and necessarily true. How is that a rumor? And that's what bothered me. It didn't bother me that June Jones came out and said, hey, I misspoke, whatever. Hey, that's fine. But all of a sudden, I started getting all these messages about reporting on rumors. That's not a rumor. If The Rock goes on Instagram and says, I purchased the XFL, that was the thing. Well, you should follow up with your sources. You just heard it. He just said it on the radio. On national radio, CBS Sports Radio, he said it. Why would I have to go? Why would we at XFL News Hub have to go and ask for clarification? He said it on the radio. We reported it. How is that a rumor? It just kind of bothered me. And I think because people didn't even read the article. They just read the headline and that's it. And they're lazy. They're lazy, hanging out in their basement, doing their thing, trolling it up. But my friends, there's a difference between a rumor. A rumor is, hey, I hear Mark Perry, editor of XFL News Hub, is going to be the new commissioner of the XFL. That's what we're hearing. That's a rumor. If The Rock comes up on Instagram and says, I bought the XFL, that's what he said. How is that? That's not a rumor. That's what he said. And that's what we were reporting. So I just wanted to clarify that out. So be careful. There's a difference between quoting somebody versus reporting on a rumor. And really, we stay away from rumors. Honestly, there's a bunch of stuff that we hear that we just don't report on because it is rumor. It's unsubstantiated. Some coach tells us something. Some players tell us something. You get all sorts of stuff, and you have to balance it. But that was not a rumor. That's what he said. He clarified it. End of story. The good thing, though, just to encompass this and bring it all back, is that there's movement going on. And there's things happening. And we would love to see June Jones back in the XFL. I love his story about talking about PJ Walker and meeting him for the first time and his take on what's going on with the XFL, with Vince McMahon and now The Rock, and how he says he thinks the XFL is a hit. And I totally agree with him on that as well. So I just needed to clarify that. So they all XFL News Hub is reporting on rumors. Why are you guys rumors? You should go out and message. It's not a rumor. You didn't even bother reading the article, and it's not a rumor. And then as soon as he's put that out, we put that out as well. Tweak the title because he clarified it, and then that was the end of story. So relax. Relax, jabronis. All right, maybe you've had too much Terramana tequila, and maybe you were thinking a little cray-cray, but relax. So we're excited about June Jones. Love to have him on the show. And wish PJ Walker would come back, but that looks like that's not happening at all. So anyways, with that being said, let's get into some of our friends on the social media right now. First up on Taylor Russolino signing, which was super excited about that, by the way. Zach says, Taylor is a good friend of mine, and I'm so happy for him. Definitely deserves to be in the NFL. I already saw the news a few days ago and texted him right away to congratulate him. All sources point to him signing. Another case in point, there was rumors that he was going to sign. We waited until he signed. We were sitting on that for a while. Vargas says, Battlehawks is a team to never forget, and it's sad they can't be held on to, but congratulate to him. I hope the Broncos or that division don't ruin his talent. Battlehawk team is a team to never forget, and it's sad they can't be held on to. He can't be held on to? What does he mean by that? I'm a little unclear on that. What? But thanks for the comment. The Battlehawks will be back. And a lot of these guys that get moved up to the practice squad and might come down or don't be signed to a team, there's still an opportunity for them in the XFL. I personally thought that Taylor was probably the best kicker in the XFL. And granted, he kicked in a dome. That's one thing. But I'm really curious to see how he does in the XFL. And a lot of kickers, it's like the KFL, Kicker Football League, because all of them are getting signed to contracts in the NFL. And then that's the thing too. You bring in a guy that, you bring in guys that haven't played and been sitting on, at least the XFL guys have game tape. On to the YouTubes. Let's see. Captain Coleslaw says, I just want LA to go to Diego. I think he's talking about San Diego. Paladin Demo said the Battlehawks aren't the only ones getting a Blood Bowl version. Got a new box set. Oh, we're talking about the XFL Black Friday sale. Doing one of the teams in the New York Guardians. He sent us some pics. We'll get to that in a second. Jared says many Panther fans are wanting PJ as the starting QB after the epic fail of game management versus the Vikings. That's interesting. Jared also says, I'm so happy seeing hats from New Era. 47 was good, but I didn't like the old XFL shop so much. T-shirt was lopsided. I don't know about that. Black and Silver Diamond says, relocate all 8 teams. No, that's not going to happen, my friend. Fear the Greek Freak says, I just hope we can get an XFL video game. Yes, me too. That would be a lot of fun. But that 2024, if you're lucky. Carlos Trevino says, love this bit of news, talking about June Jones. Hopefully the XFL comes back bigger and better than before because the league's fans deserve a great product. Hashtag for the love of football. Hashtag XFL. Hashtag Houston Roughneck. Hashtag Danny Garcia. Hashtag Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Agree with him there. LFG says Angel Pimp Talk 101. Not really sure what that means. Thank you again, Jack Superstar. Likes the video. ZJ said, awesome news. I am happy to operate an XFL group where I live. They will be pumped for this. Long live the XFL. Talking about June Jones. Greg says, while there should be a team in San Antonio, it's good for a long-term success XFL team to have a team in Dallas. Talking about the lease agreement. Again, nothing is set in stone, but these are just little tidbits out there to keep an eye on. That things are trajectory, whether it's June Jones, whether it's news about the lease, it's all moving in the right direction for the XFL. On the Twitter, something that's not moving in the good direction of the XFL, if you didn't hear that as of today, Monday the 7th, the Carolina Panthers placed 8 players on their reserve COVID list. Our man, superstar Mike Mitchell says, never a fun thing to monitor. We said something XFL fans should keep their eye on, what's going on with the Panthers, because we saw with the Ravens, once a bunch of players got it, more players got it, and it really just kind of spiraled out of control, and you saw what happened with the Ravens. Unfortunately, we might be able to see this again with the Panthers, and that could bring up, again, PJ Walker, something to keep an eye on. Now, Mike Mitchell says, never a fun thing to monitor. Hopefully these players recover and return to action. From a former XFL player standpoint, at the moment, none of the players listed fall under that category. However, with 3 receivers on the list, it opens up the possibility of maybe a Cam Phillips. That is a good point. He was in the training camp. Is Cam Phillips a potential landing spot with all these COVID issues with Carolina Panthers? XFL FP1 says, that's a good point. Cam had a short stint in camp with them, which I had forgotten about. Shame on me. Yes, shame on you, XFL FP1. How dare you? How dare you do that? Also, our man Paladin Dome said, here is a picture, a preview of the Project Battlehawks that he was talking about. Very cool. You can check it out on the YouTube version of this. It's a work in progress. We'll make progress and updates soon as the team for the Blood Bowl version of the New York Guardians are assembled. These are the markers for scoring, tracking time, and re-rolls. We'll post pics of the players soon. So this is pretty cool. Very nice, cool from our man Paladin Demo. Making some cool Battlehawks stuff. Appreciate that. Checking out those things. So I love people being so creative. That's just a good thing. It's a good thing. All right. That's it, my friends, this week. All right, remember, if you want to get in touch with the show, email podcast@XFL News Hub with your MP3s or videos, or call 888-430-7692 extension 3. You know the deal. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. One thing I wanted to also talk about, aside from the hater thing, was what's going on with our fantasy app? People have been asking what's going on with that. So let me tell you this, is that the fantasy app is looking good. We're going to look for a Pro Wrestling News Hub to have a beta launch January 4th if you want to check it out. One of the things I had thought about, though, I mean, everything is work. I just today worked a little bit on the waiver wire process of dropping a player, picking a player up, a wrestler, how that all works. Part of me thought about, I'll leave this with you guys and what you think. And I tried to research it. If there's a CFL, I wonder if we try a CFL, if the CFL comes back, of doing CFL fantasy through that app, which would really just knock out any kind of bugs or any kind of issues that we might come up. Because essentially, like I've talked about before, it's just a data set. And whether the data set is from wrestling or the data set is from the CFL or the data set's from the XFL, it's kind of the same thing. And the system works regardless of the data set. Something to keep in mind, I thought about. But we'll see what the deals with the CFL season, because just like the XFL season or the NFL season where we follow these players, we're definitely going to follow these CFL guys as well. And I would assume some of them would be signed, and we'll track all that stuff for you when they bring their season back. So that's it for me, folks. That's it for this week's show. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Remember to leave us a review. We talked about that. And that is it for me, folks. Remember, you got the Google Play app, all that stuff. You can find us. Discord. Join the Discord to leave your comments about what do you think about the CFL thing, or whether or not, or what your thoughts. Or you want to see some pictures of the fantasy app as well. I can put that on the Discord. So hit us up on there. XFLnewshub.com/XFL-podcast for all the show notes and articles that we've talked about. That's it for me, folks. Thanks for listening. God bless. Mahalo, especially to my friend June Jones as well. God bless. Stay safe out there, my friends, and I will see you all later.